Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Mawada binti Suhaili and I will be present for question 1 that related to initial measurement of inventory. So first, we need to recognize costs that should be included in inventory costs. So first, it's purchase price for 120,000 ringgit and then import duty for 6,000 ringgit and then freight inward for 4,500 and then trade discount received for 3,000 ringgit. And then cost that should be excluded from inventory cost is administration expenses for 2,000 ringgit. And we move on to the calculation cost of the inventory purchase. First, we need to compute inventory invoice price. So we need to purchase price 120,000 less with trade discount trade 3,000 and we got invoice price for 117,000 ringgit. And then we add import duty 6,000 and we got net invoice amount for 123,000 ringgit. And we add freight inward 4,500 ringgit and we got an 127,500 ringgit. And for the last one is justify the treatments that we already made before. So for the first one is inclusions that we include in the cost of inventory, which is a purchase price, import duty, freight invoice, freight inward. So why we include it? Because under Mfrs 102, the cost of purchase include the purchase price, import duty, transport freight inward, handling, and any other costs directly attributable to the acquisitions of finished goods and materials. And for the second one, trade discount received. Under Mfrs 102, explicitly state that trade discount, rebates, and other similar items must be deducted in determine the cost of purchase. And for the last one is exclusion administration's expenses. Why administration's overhead are excluded from the cost of inventory? Because they do not contribute to bringing inventory through their present locations and condition. So we recognize the cost inventory purchase is 127,500 ringgit.
Assalamualaikum and good morning. My name is Kausa binti Badullah. On this slide, I will explain how inventory is measured after purchase using the net realizable value or NRV according to Mfrs 102. Mfrs 102 states that inventory must be valued at the lower cost or NRV. Looking at the table, product A has a cost of 20,000 ringgit and an NRV of 18,000 ringgit. Since the NRV is lower, the carrying amount becomes 18,000 ringgit. This means a write-down of 2,000 ringgit is required. Meanwhile, for product B, it has a cost of 15,000 ringgit and an RV of 70,000 ringgit. Since the cost is lower, no write-down is needed. The carrying amount remains at 15,000 ringgit. Lastly, for the product C, has a cost of 10,000 ringgit and an RV of 7,000 ringgit. Since the NRV is lower, the carrying amount becomes 7,000 ringgit, resulting in a write-down of 3,000 ringgit. Therefore, the total inventory carrying amount is 40,000 ringgit. The reason for inventory write-down is that products may become damaged, obsolete, or difficult to sell. For example, product C become obsolete due to technology changes, causing its NRV to fall below its cost. In conclusion, under Mfrs 102, inventory is always reported at the lower cost or NRV to ensure that assets are not overstated in the financial statements.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Nur Adlina Zulaika binti Muhammad Aswad and today I'll be explaining about recognition of inventory as an expenses. For question 3. Okay, so RM 95,000 cost of inventory sold must be recognized as cost of sales in the statement of profit or loss for the year 2025. This is to match the cost with the revenue earned in the same period. Okay, so moving forward for the inventory write-down. The total write-down of RM 5,000, product A RM 2,000 plus product C RM 3,000 equals to RM 5,000. So it must be recognized as immediate expenses. This is directly reduce the bright marks gross and net profit for the year 2025. So what happened if we calculate the inventories wrongly? So first, ignoring the NRV for product A and product C will overvalues the inventory. So this will inflating the profit by RM 5,000. But in contrast, if we wrongly calculating the product B below its RM 15,000, cost will undervalue the inventory. So this also making the net profit will look lower than it actually was. So for the future impact, miscalculating the RM 2025 closing inventory, this will carry the error forward. So this will impact the 2026 profit too.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Alia Zara binti Muhammad Azahar. Now let's discuss task 2 question 4, which focuses on the disclosure requirements under MFRS 102 for bright market trading Sendirian Berhad. To comply with the standards, our company must disclose several critical pieces of information in the notes to the financial statements. First, regarding our accounting policies, our inventory is strictly valued at the lower of cost and net realizable value. For initial measurement, we included the purchase price, import duties and freight inward, while excluding administration expenses as per MFRS 102 guidelines. Next, we must disclose the carry amount of inventories. Based on our subsequent measurement from task 1, the total inventory value presented in our statement of financial position is 40,000 ringgit. This is broken down by product lines. Product B remains at its cost at 50,000 ringgit. However, product A is written down to 18,000 ringgit due to market decline, and product C is written down to 7,000 ringgit because it became obsolete due to technological changes. Moving on, MFRS 102 also requires us to disclose expenses and write-downs. First, the total inventory recognized as an expense or cost of sales for the period is 95,000 ringgit. Second, due to the issue with product A and C, our company has recognized a total inventory write-downs of 5,000 ringgit directly into the statement profit or loss. They consist of 2,000 ringgit from product A and 3,000 ringgit from product C. Lastly, we confirm that there are no inventories pledged as security for any liabilities. These disclosures ensures full compliance and present a true and fair view of our inventory management.
On this slide, I will share to you about my recommendation for inventory management. The first one is establish a robust inventory costing policy, which is use a consistent cost formula such as FIFO, which is first in, first out, or use weighted average cost. By applying the same costing method consistently for inventories of a similar nature and use, and avoid using LIFO as it is not permitted under the MFRS 102. Secondly, conduct regular inventory counts. By performing annual and physical stock counts, periodic cycle counts for high value or fast moving items, or reconcile physical counts with inventory records promptly. And lastly, perform investigation and document variances. The third one is to improve demand forecasting by using your historical sales trend and market demand forecast, and set pre-order levels and safety stock limits, and reduce excess inventory while avoiding stockouts.
So, in conclusion, strict adherence of MFRS 102 is paramount to ensuring that an organization's financial statements reflect a true and fair view of its financial health. Through the practical application in this assignment, it is evident that the proper accounting treatment for inventories ranging from the accurate inclusion of direct costs like purchase price, import duties, and freight inward to the exclusion of administrative overheads is vital during the initial measurement stage. Furthermore, applying the conservative rule of measuring closing inventories at the lower of cost and net realizable value (NRV) is crucial to prevent assets from being overstaged. As demonstrated in the case of bright market trading Sendirian Berhad, any incorrect inventory valuation causes a cascading effect that distort the figures in both of statement of financial positions of A and the statement of profit or loss (SOPOL), which misstate future profit reporting. Ultimately, a robust understanding and meticulous application of MFRS 102 are essentials for maintaining financial prudence, compliance, and transparency in corporate reporting. So that's all from our group. Thank you.